and welcome. I am One Wild Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be tackling something a little bit special. This here is the Yooka Laylee Toybox demo that has been released on Steam. This is a live LP for change because it's only like a one-parter, and I figured I may as well. And basically, if anybody backed the Kickstarter project of Yooka Laylee, you gain access to this demo, which comes in basically two forms. You have the standard toy box, and then you have the Toy Box Plus, which adds like one or two islands. It's nothing really special, I'll be perfectly frank. But yeah, this is the toy box. It's neat. I've been quite excited for this. I've been quite excited for this game as a whole, and I've already played through the toy box, so I know everything there is. But you know, it's a pretty fun little ride, you know. It gives me a little feel of what the controls of Yooka Laylee's going to control like. It gives me a feel of how everything's going to run. And honestly, from what I can see of the controls, they actually really are extremely tight, you know, for the most part. Everything just feels on point. It feels like a Banjo-Kazooie game in terms of how it controls, which I'm happy about, because I always consider Banjo-Kazooie to be like one of the greatest controlling 3D platforms of all time. I consider it to be one of the best 3D platforms of all time anyway, and Collectathon 3D platformers are they are my shtick, which is why I've been really hyped about this game. But just talk to this NPC over here called Inept. It's kind of weird the A button talks to NPCs. I was expecting it to be like the X button or something, but either way, let's just talk to this geezer. Organics detected. Exterminate. But yeah, this guy by here, this is Inept, and he's... I think this is meant to be a joke at the expense of the Microsoft Kinect, which is pretty neat, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can tell, it's got the Banjo-Kazooie speech bubbles, which I really do love as well in this one. And one thing is kind of weird about this is, in Banjo-Kazooie, you could speed up the text by holding down the A button. It doesn't really work like that here. It tap the A button and it makes the entire text pop in, which is it's different. It is different, but yeah, the best way to explain this sort of demo we got here, a right old lock, is it's essentially a test level. Like, you know when developers are testing the controls of games for the characters and whatnot, testing the movement ability, this is essentially one of those test levels that they usually have in games that you can usually find by action replay codes, you know? And yeah, it's just a small little sandbox area for us to explore and collect quills, which are basically this game's equivalent of the musical notes in Banjo-Kazooie, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a fairly reasonably sized area. It's got loads of things to look for, loads of hidden secrets and whatnot, which I will be showing off during the course of this playthrough. I will show off pretty much everything I can about this game, you know. Well, everything I know of that's in this toy box demo I'm showing off, like all the hidden secrets. If I do miss any secrets and whatnot, it's only because I don't know about them, ladies and gentlemen, so don't hurt me too much about that. You know, there's only so much I can explain with this sort of thing. But yeah, basically we're going to be collecting all of the quills in order to gain 100 of them, and for the 100th one we collect, we'll basically gain this game's equivalent of a Jiggy, which is the Pagey, and it's essentially just it's basically just a glowing golden Super Saiyan piece of paper that's, as far as I can tell, will be used in the final game to unlock levels, so that's a good thing, that's a good thing. Going over the controls, basically X button does this weird spin attack, and if you have the Toy Box Plus, you can actually combo this up to 3 times by hitting enemies in the right intervals. If I press the right trigger, I can roll into a ball and just go sonicking my way around. Wow, gotta go fast! LT basically crouches, and as soon as I learned that LT was the crouch button, my Banjo-Kazooie instincts kicked in immediately, and I realized, hang on, I can do a high jump. So basically, if you play Banjo-Kazooie, for the most part, you already know how this game controls, because it controls, for the most part, identical. I mean, there's obviously differences here and there, like the Yooka and Laylee can do a double jump as opposed to just a basic jump and then a flutter jump. And when Laylee glides Yooka, it goes for a very, very far distance. And I know some people don't like the fact that this goes for a far distance, but honestly, I love it. I love the fact I can get a lot of distance with this thing, especially when I double it up with the high jump there, you know? I don't know, I like the glide. I like how useful it is, you know, folks, so it's pretty damn awesome. But for the most part, I'm just going to be showing off where all the quills are, and I'm just going to be basically exploring, you know, ladies and gentlemen, showing everything off here. So, yeah, I'm going to skip a lot of the dialogue in regards to the tutorials, because obviously I know the game. I'm going to keep it on screen for long enough, hopefully, for you guys to be able to read it, but, you know. Now, one thing I'm not too fond of with this demo, I do love the controls, but one thing that does irk me is the swimming controls are a little bit sluggish. They are a little bit more sluggish than, say, Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie and whatnot, and I think it's entirely because you don't move very fast when you go up and down. In fact, you move really slow when you go up and down, and if you... Let me just get an example by here. If I tap the button right now, Yooka goes down a considerable amount instead. So basically, that sort of needs to be ironed out. That needs to be a bit more tight. But the rest of the controls are just pretty much perfect. They're pretty much on point with what I expect. And from what I have heard that the controls are really slippery when you're using a keyboard and mouse combo with playing this. Because obviously this demo is only on Steam. They didn't release this demo on the consoles or anything. So, you know, there's a lot of people who's going to be playing this with a keyboard and mouse. And I have heard they aren't... It's not as polished as, say, with a controller combo, but you know, I'd rather not test it because I am very much a controller person. I will only ever really use keyboard and mouse for games that, well, are better with keyboard and mouse, like first-person shooters and stuff like that, you know. Otherwise, you're pretty much always going to see me using the same. You're always going to see me using controllers because controllers are my jam, boy. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? Indeed. But yeah, even though this is basically a gigantic test room, I'm surprised at how much enjoyment I've had out of this because basically I'm just enjoying controlling the character, you know. There's not really many challenges to go through. There's some basic platforming here and there, which it's surprisingly fun to still do. I don't know, I just love the way the guys control, and if the game controls well and it's just simply fun to explore without any challenges and whatnot being added, then you know you got a gem on your hands, you know, folks. So I am really, really looking forward to the final release of Yooka Laylee, because I think it's going to be some tip-top game, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And in fact, my biggest issue with this game is also being sorted out, because my biggest issue with this game is the fact that it runs on the Unity game engine, and every game, well, almost every game I've owned on the Unity game engine has been a stuttering mess. Almost every single one, and it's not to do with my PC specs, trust me, I have a pretty good PC. This game seems to not have that issue. I mean, I got the settings cranked up to max, and maybe that'll be different in the final release because, well, you know, right now we're just in a world filled with blocks. You know, in the final release of the game, it's probably going to be, a lot more performance intensive than this, but what can I tell you? Basically, I'm digging it. That's basically what I'm getting at here. Hey, Inept, what's up? Good news, users. I exterminated all the other NPCs. No! I like NPCs. Why? That is kind of something that I think is a little bit lacking, but I understand why there's not many NPCs here. And that's because of, well, it's basically a little demonstration that doesn't really spoil anything for the final Yooka Laylee game. It just sort of gives you ideas about what it's going to be like, and I love that. You know, I'm not too fond of. Well, actually, I don't mind when games spoil things as much as most people, but you know, I love the fact that they aren't spoiling anything for this game, so I know exactly what to. I know kind of what to expect without really knowing what to expect. You know, ladies and gentlemen, but a little bit of a top-down maze area here. Some of these things that they also Playtonic put in this demo, they are asking for specific feedback on, like this area by here where I'm going through the 3 camera angles, and I don't know if Playtonic will ever see this video. If they do, then my feedback will probably be, I think I prefer this camera angle better than this one. This one kind of makes it a bit hard to control and hard to see. It's a little bit awkward to maneuver in, but that's just me. In fact, the Inept by here will actually say, be sure to send feedback to the Playtonic forums, which I may or may not do, depending on how much I can be asked. So, Buzz, greetings, user. You haven't seen any other organics around here? There are enemies actually in this Toybox though, ladies and gentlemen, but only in a Toybox Plus version. From what I can tell, the enemies are Toybox Plus exclusive, and honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with myself on actually backing this for £35 right now, because the Toybox Plus doesn't really add all that much. You know, I'm glad I backed £35 to this game, because honestly, I think it'll be a game worth that price. But I was kind of expecting Toybox Plus to have a little bit more, maybe a couple more architectural land points here or something like that. But yeah, I can't complain too much. It's a demo, and it's definitely made me hyped for the main game. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely made me excited. So it's successfully done its job in alleviating any worries I have. Although I do know this rolling move will have an NG bar tied to it in the final game. It won't be infinite, so in the final game I'll be shocked if you see people running around with this. Unless they change that, because I just remember loads of promotional materials where people were rolling into a ball and it was using an NG gauge up, so I don't know. But anyway, actually, speaking of the Toybox exclusive, that's the Toybox only area right below, which I'm heading to now. And one thing I kind of wish was in this demo was the ability to go first-person view, because I don't know, I always liked that about Banjo games and whatnot, and that's not in this demo. I know there's like a first-person over-the-shoulder view in the final game, because I've seen it in one of the trailers, but right now it's not here, and it's kind of disappointing. Hey, buddy! Pow! Right in the kisser was the rest of the geezers. There we go. But yeah, if anyone's wondering how the combo attack works, basically I need to time the button presses when I actually hit an enemy. So, hit an enemy once, boom, hit an enemy again, boom, boom, and then it's a little bit awkward to pull off, but not that it really matters. You can just smash the attack button anyway when you have enough speed. But yeah, that's all the enemies. Yay! You don't really have anything interesting collecting these bonus areas, unfortunately, which is a shame. But if you go into this secret little, well, it's not secret, but go into this room, and hey, it's a room of minions, all doing their quirky animations and whatnot, so you can see what they're gonna look like in the final product, which I kind of dig. This guy's a scaredy one. He's a scaredy cat. This guy's I don't even. Get off of my lawn, you damn kids! That's the vibe I get from that one. Praise Jesus! Our Lord and Savior, Lord Gaben. It's a little bit neat. It's nothing special though. It's just a little interesting bonus thing they added for the toy box. So, you know. One thing I kind of like as well is I can actually when I say I can Sonic the Hedgehog people using this rolling move, I can literally Sonic the Hedgehog people. Although it doesn't seem to kill them, but it does knock them out of the way, which I guess can be helpful in the final release. Like if I'm having trouble with if I'm having trouble with minions or something, I just want to get past them, then I can just combo roll, Sonic the Hedgehog my way past them, you know. So that's pretty damn neat. It's pretty damn neat indeed. But yeah, apart from the typical issues with swimming and what I mentioned, I'm kind of hoping they improve one thing about this in the final product, which is I can't make it up there. I need to use the high jump. The quills in this stage are really spread apart. I really hope that's not a big issue in the final release of the game, because I don't mind collecting 100 quills and whatnot, or 200 in the final game, but I'm kind of I do really hope that they're not really spread apart. I really do hope they're used as more of a guideline, kind of like they are in Banjo-Kazooie 1, because otherwise it can be quite annoying. What can I tells ya? What can I tells ya, indeed? Yay! I got 50. I got one half of the quills. Oh, aren't you so proud of me? But yeah, whenever you come across these blue slopes, these are basically too steep for Yooka Laylee to stand on normally, so you need to go into your Sonic the Hedgehog form, and this is actually really tricky to do because when you're in ball form, turning is really awkward, and I'm not too fond of that, so you basically need to go to a stop on these slopes, otherwise you won't be able to turn properly, and it's a little bit annoying. I'm surprised I managed to get that get up there pretty quickly. Normally it takes me like 10 attempts, so that's a bonus. And for some reason there's no pushing animation, and this bugs me. It's one of the most small things in the world, but ow! the fact there's no pushing animation for things like this, it's really agitating to me. I don't know why. I kind of had a similar issue in Sonic Lost World where there's this thing that you pushed. I think you was pushing anyway. Either that or the object ran away from you, and there was no animation for it, and it just, I don't know, it just feels weird to me. So I'm hoping if they do pushing puzzles in the final game, I'm hoping they do add animations into this, because that would make things a bit, it would make things seem a little bit more polished. I am expecting the game to be rather polished anyway, because this toy box, apart from these small nitpicks I have, it's extremely well made. It's surprisingly polished in how good everything feels, how good everything controls, you know, folks. So, I'm expecting the game to be good at the very least. So, let's go down here and get these last couple of quills. Yeah, buddy. But I easily spent over a couple of hours just exploring this area, you know, folks. Even after I collected everything, I was still exploring the area for about an hour or so extra, just because I just got a feeling there's loads of secrets hidden around, and I want to find them all. So, you know, this game does have its fair share of secret areas, and this Toy Box demo does you know, it does a good job in hiding things for you to explore and collect, you know, which I like. You know, I like my longevity. I've probably replayed this thing like 5 times now already, and the toy box literally only just came out, so that's the only reason why I know where everything is. I've replayed this so much now that I just physically know where everything is. So let's just grab this. Yeah, I got 70 quills. Won't be long until I have all 100, and then we're going to see some serious shit. What can I tell you? Does the breeze make you feel alive? Yeah, oh god, the camera's got stuck. That's another issue this demo has as well. The camera is a little buggy. The camera's not the best in the world. It's, yeah, that's all I can really say. The camera needs work. That's the best way I can really put it. But, you know, this is all work in progress. I mean, there is a big pre-alpha pre-alpha sign at the bottom left of the screen, for example, you know, so this game isn't perfect just yet. This is all just early access, but what can I tell you? I'm just saying out the issues I have with it right now in the hopes that Playtonic pick up on this video or something and they improve upon them. Then again, there's quite a few people with this demo, so those people have probably let Playtonic know as well. Because I've seen most of my complaints have already been addressed in like the Playtonic forums from what I've read. Like, loads of people are sort of having discussions on how swimming could be improved and whatnot. So I'm just like, okay, I'll leave this to the people who know more about games than me. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm just a game critic. I took over video games for the internet, and most of the time I'm probably an idiot. So. Come on, get into the secret room. There we go. This room took me so long to find, by the way, and this is one of the secret areas you can enter, and I dub it the particle effects room. Why? It's filled with particle effects. I don't know if any of these are going to be used in the final game, but they look pretty. Did you know robots really enjoy particle effects? Oh, do tell me more, inept. You inept person, you, but you know, I like how everything reflects light-wise. I like this one. This one looks pretty. This isn't even my final form. So yeah, I don't know in what instances these particle effects are going to be used. Ooh, the fire makes me all glowy. But I got a weird feeling these are going to be used in the final product somewhere, and they look nice. I can dig them. I dig the particle effects here, yo. They're a pretty neat little room. So there's that. Take me away, wind! Oh god, what's whoa! Whoa, okay, and that's the first time the camera glitched in that way. Normally the camera sort of just gets stuck on a wall and let's zoom out into some other area of the world. God. God damn, son! God damn, indubitably. But, see that giant slide over there? That's also another Toy Box Plus only area, but, you know, I'm probably going to go to that. Well, actually, I'm going to head over there now because I think that I only have literally one main area to go before I'm pretty much done with the demo of this. So, you know, I do have well, I say one more area left. I do need to go back to the beginning, pick up the Pagey as well, and then once I've picked up the Pagey, I have another secret to show off. But otherwise, you know, that's basically... I believe that's basically all there is to this demo. I can't recall there being any other news, you know, any other stuff to talk about. All in all, I just love it. I'm just enjoying it. That's the main thing for this one, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, 89 quills. It won't be long until I got them all now. I should be able to get the last couple up here, which is fantastic. What can I tells ya? What can I tells ya, indeed. Anyway, that big blue... I don't know what's... bluish, greenish thing there, I suppose. That's a ghostwriter. These things are going to be in the final game of Yooka Laylee, and this thing is a Pirek. It's a Pirek. I do not like this guy. Because, look at him. You basically have to curl up into a ball and hope you go into him. I got a little bit lucky, actually, there. And these are the guys that are going to be replacing the Jinjos for the most part. So, like, the Jinjos and Magic Zooey, those are basically this game's equivalent to those. And they all, from what I can tell, they all have their own unique ways of attaining them. Like, the aqua, greenish, bluish one, you need to run into and collect. Don't know about the other ones then. Maybe puzzles or something. I have no idea. I'm only going off what I've heard from Platonic, and they've been really vague about that. So, you know, time will tell in regards to that, because that's the only ghostwriter in this toy box demo. They haven't put in any more of them, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, take that, boxes. Get out of my way, crate. Yeah! Destruction. Now that is all you really need to make a video game fun. Just mindless destruction. Oh, there's nothing around the back there. You know, I have played this stage all the time. I always have to keep checking the nooks and crannies, though, because of, I don't know, I just tend to have, I tend to be paranoid about things where I'm playing through, where I'm always paranoid that I missed an object or I missed an item or something, so I just need to make sure I know what I'm doing. Anyway, 98, which means the last couple of quills will be up here. And then we'll be basically almost done. One thing also confused me as well, every time you reach the highest point of the stage, which is actually by here, this text box will load up saying, user is too high, frame rate dip detected. I actually thought they was telling me my frame rate is dropping, so I had to replay the entire thing again with my frame rate counter on to see if my frame rate is dropping, but fortunately, no, that's just a text that pops up. I had full 60 FPS without a drop, so I'm kind of happy about that. But there we go, there is the Pagey. I love that, it's so adorable! Oh my god, it's so cute, I want one. I want a plushie version of it. I would buy a plushie of a Pagey. Platonic Games, you know what to do next. So, that's why we need to go back and collect, but before we do that, giant slide time. What do you guys say, Inept? You made it to the top of the island. Now you can view all pleasing geometric shapes and grids. Oh, I know. They are very pleasing to see. Enjoy before final game's inferior, highly detailed organic art arrives. I don't know, I kind of dig the inferior organic art from what I've seen of, oh my god, that does actually look pretty damn nice, surprisingly, but I do kind of dig the final game's inferior art from what I've seen of the trailers and whatnot, and seen from the original Kickstarter demo, which I'm surprised they didn't actually give us the original Kickstarter demo for this, but I think this is probably a better representation of the final product than that, even though this has like no artwork from the final product, because of well, I don't know, I just got a weird feeling that the way, because of how this is basically a test level, this basically gives us this probably gives a better what's the word I'm looking for? It probably gives us a better idea of how Yooka and Laylee control, I suppose, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, just go down here into this last room. This is one of the hidden rooms of the stage, and there's loads of different types of floors down here that you can jump into. So, you know, you have your typical mud floor, carpet floor, sand floor, you know, and basically you can just see how they affect Yooka Laylee's movement. The camera in here is a bit dodgy, but you can sort of see how the floors will affect Yooka Laylee's movement and make him a little bit dodgy. So I kind of appreciated they included this, so I know how ice mechanics will work in the final product, you know, and it doesn't seem to affect the rolling too much, but then again, the ice physics seem icy, but they don't seem too icy, so I'm digging that, you know, and For some reason, this is a water floor. It kind of pisses me off. There's no water ripples when I'm walking. Then that's something that's probably going to be sorted on the final product. But, you know, there's a floor room. Whoop-de-doo. Different types of floors. You know, like I said, this is essentially just a giant test level. This isn't in any way really representative of the level design of the final game. So, but this has given me confidence in the final game, even more so than I originally had. You know, I originally was kind of was excited for the original game, but you know, it could have gone either way because obviously it's a Kickstarter game. But you know, this has given me confidence that this will actually live up to its potential, so I'm kind of digging that. So let's just grab this pagey here. I love that little tune. It's such a nice tune. Alright, anyway, once we got the final pagey, basically Inept will tell us, oh, there's a secret, by the way, if you can find this switch. And trust me, this switch is a pain in the ass to locate because it is hidden in the most obnoxious place you can possibly find. It took me so long to figure this out. No, it took me like an hour and a half to 2 hours just to find this damn switch. But basically, if we go to the second island over yonder by here, the switch will be in here, and this will actually give us a little bit of a hint for the final product, the Yooka-Laylee. So, you know, if you don't want spoilers for the final game, if you don't want any hints at all going into the final game, I would advise, okay, it's not this side. I would advise stopping the video by here, and, but if you don't care, then, let's just go into this alcove here, and find what's in this secret. Let's press the super-de-duper secret switch, shall we? Boom! Okay, so it opened up a thingy there. Let's have a quick gander, see what that was, shall we? I know this game did give me a lot of nostalgia, though. This Toybox did, of playing Banjo-Kazooie back in the day, discovering everything for the first time. I don't know, I felt like a kid again. I loved it. Oh god, Skull and Crossbones. This is well, this is foreboding. Okay, up we go. Come on, speed up. I really wish they sped up the swimming controls. The swimming controls don't feel as bad now that I've gotten used to them as when they did when I first started playing. But, you know, I still prefer something a bit quicker and something a bit less sluggish. So, greetings, users. Greetings! I have a secret for you. Oh, really? Do tell us more. When real world game releases, look to a pirate ship for a surprise. Oh, neat. A surprise, eh? Ground smash lone rock under a nearby tree to reveal the way. Ooh. Remember, this is to find the surprise. Okay, so basically that's basically a little preview to Yooka-Laylee, and it gives us a little idea of what I like this little candle here. It looks nice. It gives us an idea of what the final game is going to be kind of like. So I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing really more I can really say. It's just hiding the plant. It's like I'm a chameleon or something. Yeah, that's basically all there is to it. So, you know, all in all, I can't wait for the final product. I'm quite excited for it. I've quite enjoyed what this toy box has to offer. There's a couple of little quirks here and there that I think need to be ironed out, but you know, for the most part, I am legitimately impressed, and I cannot wait to see the final game in action. So, that's basically all there is to it. This is basically going to be a one-part LP. It's a very short demo. So with that, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and I'll catch you all again. Bye! Oh, and it has the Banjo-Kazooie sort of pause menu. I squeezed like a schoolgirl when I found this out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you after. Bye!